The question was, can the Leafs, with Bertuzzi, Matthews, Domi working, and McMahon, Tavares, Nylander working, spread the love around over 3 lines? And it looks like Sheldon wants to give that a shot. But it's not Marner that's moving.
Interesting.
Who's moving?
I mean, you would think... Well, okay, I was going to say Domi, but if they're spreading it around... Willie?
Willie's going to play with Nyes and Holberg. What do we think? So it's Bertuzzi, Matthews, Domi, McMahon, Tavares, Marner, Nyes, Holberg, Nylander, Dewar, Kampf, Reeves.
Okay. Hear me out. Like, if that kid line is already bad at defense but has some good offensive upside, yeah, that is actually the logical thing to do. You have a fun top line.
Mm-hmm.
You have Holberg, who's like a pretty responsible, dynamic guy. Lacks a little bit of the high end. You have Nyes, who can be kind of a battering ram. And then you got Willie, who's just give him the puck. Just give Willie the puck. And so I guess that leaves McMahon, Tavares, Marner.
Yep.
I don't hate that at all.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? That makes a lot more sense. Willie is a good playmaker.
Mm-hmm.
Marner's the best on the team. So I like Marner with 2 dynamic goal scorers in Tavares and McMahon. You know what? That makes a lot of sense.
Jesse, what do you think?
I think that's what I went with last episode. Was it not? I said, why don't you pair Tavares with Marner?
I think you did.
Yeah, I think you did.
Yeah.
I don't know if you suggested Willie with Holberg.
No, I did not say that. The question for me for this is, a lot of people have questions about Holberg in that he's a little redundant in that you have 2 Holbergs with David Kampf when he's centerman, you know? And I don't have strong opinions on Holberg. Do you guys? Because I see a lot of fans being upset at him, and it's going to be interesting to have him in this position with Nyes and Willie, but I don't know.
That decision is fascinating. Cool. Okay. Jarnkrok is going to come back in the lineup.
Mm-hmm.
And for some reason, YouTube has decided I need to watch the entirety of Game 6 of the 2017 Stanley Cup Final between the Preds and the Penguins. Every time a video ends, that autoplays for some reason. And the opening faceoff for, I think, every period is Jarnkrok versus Crosby, which means at one point in his career, Jarnkrok was taxed with being the shutdown center for Sidney Crosby. And
today he's not even a center in this Leafs organization.
He's played like 4 games at center his whole time here. Like, to me, that would, like, if they at least had a vague idea of what that would look like on this team, would answer a lot of questions. But they're just not playing him there. Mm-hmm. So I guess Holberg is the casualty there, but then who plays the center?
It complicates things because Domi has been so good on that line with Matthews, but Domi should be your 3rd center, but he's played himself into a higher position just on the wing.
It's good to have options.
Definitely. It's just Holberg by default has to be your next center.
I kind of would like Jarnkrok when he comes back to play center.
You want him to try it?
I want him to try it. It's a little late in the season.
Right.
Hopefully it's like riding a bike. I get the impression it's not.
Is there a timeline for when he can return to his injury? They could have a couple of regular season games to try it out.
I don't know.
As opposed to because at the playoffs, you don't try Jarnkrok at center.
There are some people suggesting right now that maybe the optimal Leafs lineup is Nylander at center.
Fuck off.
No.
Stop. It's over.
Why?
This.
It's over.
What about Marner at center? What do you try him?
That is okay. A huge mistake the Leafs made years and years ago is not getting Willie developed at center. That's because
Babs was like, well, I can't trust him right now.
I can't trust him right now, and I'm trying to win every game, so fuck the long-term health of this team. And like Willie still developed into an elite winger. Like, he's an elite player. It's hard to look at a guy who's scoring like Willie is. He's going to get 100 points. Hopefully, and say you failed in his development, but he should have been a center.
Mm-hmm.
They developed him as a center with the Marlies. He came up with the Leafs. They put together this fun kid line, and it was great. But there was always the talk of, well, at some point he's going to transition to center, and they never did it.
Mm-hmm. It'd be crazy if they tried it in preseason for a couple of weeks and like really trained him on being a center. And then they went with it for a couple of weeks in the regular season and then see how that went.
And then abandon it like right away.
They did that and it failed. We did this, guys. Earlier this season.
When did we do it, Jesse?
They did the proper thing of giving him a run in practice and fake games, and then they tried it, and it sucked.
They were like,
it's over.
They were drunk at the beginning of the season. Some of the stuff they tried. Oh yeah, Kampf between like two like dynamic offensive players. What? No, like he's a black hole of offense.
Yes.
What are you doing?
Yep.
What do you, unless you're scoring fourth line type goals, which like he did the other night. No, that I will forever begrudge the Nyes Camp Domi line as your third line.
Right.
Oh, they're not getting depth scoring. Yeah, that line sucks, dude. What are you doing?
The point about the Willie center thing is that they tried it, hey, we're just going to throw this out there in the middle of the playoffs thing and see if that works. They tried that. It failed. They tried doing it the proper way, where you do it through preseason, you get them worked up, and then you do in the regular season. And that also failed. So this needs to put to bed forever. Like it's over. Like in every instance, the proper way and the wrong way, it failed.
Man, Jarnkrok there would be nice. It would be nice. Marner as a center, it makes a ton of sense.
He's never
done it.
He's never done it.
Not at the professional level.
Yeah. Everybody growing up, when you're the best player in your team, you're the center, right?
Yeah.
Like, I feel like
I'm sure he did with the Knights. I don't know that for sure, but
I feel like he's never wanted to. Like it's never been a conversation.
Isn't he exactly the sort of guy who should?
But he seems like he'd be great at the position.
Yeah, he has an incredible vision for the ice and he's good defensively. He's not very big.
They've tried him at defense or before they tried him at center.
Yeah.
That is a thing that has happened in his career. He's played more defense than center. But I feel like Marner would be a great centerman. We don't like.
I still don't know what they do. I still have no idea what they do. And like, if you do 11-7, you have to take two guys out. I still don't know.
It was funny to see. Did you see that they had dueling articles written by Leaf reporters yesterday about this?
No.
Luke Fox did a Ryan Reeves should be in the playoff lineup.
Has to start, yeah.
And then he did the playoff lineup. And then I forget who did the one for the Athletic.
I bet it was Jonas.
I think it was Jonas. It probably
had to have been. I'm sorry, Jonas.
He did his what's the ideal Leaf playoff lineup. And I was like, all right, we're all ramping up. Dual playoff lineup articles. I'm going to read these. That was fun.
I want to see Jonas and Luke in the boxing arena. I want to see them go at it. Or set them up on NHL 24 with their optimal Leafs lineup and have to play each other and see who wins.
Which lineup
yeah,
is better?
Which lineup wins. And just sim it. Even if they can't play.
What did you guys think about Luke's, I guess, like theory that Reeves has to be in the lineup?
I don't know how you keep him out. And I think vibes matter. And I think we've ignored vibes for too long for numbers.
Running people the fuck over matters. Drew's shaking his head, but
Drew, what do you want to say?
What is it, Drew?
You don't put a defensive liability in your lineup. I don't care how many people he hits.
Have you watched the Leafs?
The whole team's a defensive liability.
Fair.
Yeah.
Like what you're not pulling Reeves out of the lineup doesn't make them defensively a non-liability. There's no lockdown pair. Keefe said to the media this year, we don't have a lockdown pair. You know why? Because they're blowing up the defense this offseason.
Yeah. Like,
so
what would you scratch Max Domi too?
Yeah.
That guy's hopeless. Hopeless in his own end. I still love him.
Yeah.
But, oh my God, he's hopeless in his own end.
But I look at it and I think I think that, as much as I respect the numbers have got us to the playoffs in the past.
Yeah.
And the numbers will still look good with Reeves in the lineup. Why? Because we have unbelievable talent on this team at the top end.
I've never seen a player as defensively hopeless as Max Domi, where I'm like, give him $4 million.
And a huge extension, like for years.
Do it. Keep him here forever.
Yeah.
But Steve, he sucks at. Yeah. I know. Shut up.
Man.
Yeah, I know. It doesn't matter. Shut up.